Hi guys, this is FNGR. Special thanks to Toon Critic Y2K, Keychi FIM, Quill Stroke, Dulcet Tones for all coming on for honoring Deckard Spade, a wonderful human being and a great analyst. Don't forget to check out Analysis Daily for more of my work. If my latest How Not to Brony goes down, don't worry, I'll be appealing immediately. But everything else seems to be fine. Take care.
What's up, Toon?
Oh, hey, what a coincidence. I just finished.
Oh,
Totally.
Quill wanted to.
I was making Anthony catch up on Samurai Jack.
She did.
I felt pretty good about that. I was like, this is like a little micro thing of a jig.
There we go.
All we need is
I'm gonna look
Pretty good.
I'm gonna look forward to tomorrow when I can put all this bullshit behind me.
What are you gonna do?
I've actually got plans, Toon. You've ever seen InfoWars?
Huh?
Are you familiar with the show InfoWars?
No.
Is this really crazy, conservative, batshit, retarded news guy? I'm getting a picture done.
It's like the article went up. I know that it went up. I know exactly what the truth is. I know what they did, and I'm just like, you know what? I said my piece, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. As of tomorrow, it is no longer my concern.
I'll tell you what.
What are you doing tomorrow?
What do you mean?
Oh, you were talking as if you were gonna do something tomorrow.
No, I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm
All right,
not
okay.
doing anything.
Tell you what, Toon. This might cheer you up. This is how I'm getting corpulent drawn.
What do you think?
Oh, dear. No, I think that fits him. No, I know. Because I fucking talked with the person about this. Yeah, they bullied her into making that statement so that they could make the whole article around that. I knew it.
Called it. We
Was that
called
the,
it when we
We
saw
called
it.
it.
Well, hold it.
The pink-haired chick.
I believe Sheldon that she's probably playing you both for suckers.
Eh.
I'm not impressed by the fact that she has a vagina at all. Don't give a fuck.
1, 2, 3.
She hangs out in there, she's willing to be boys, and she's willing to play
8.
both sides.
I think you're being taken for a sucker, Toon, and I told you that before.
Well, even so, can't change what happened. They're banned, so whoop-de-fucking-do.
For a year. Anyways, moving right along. It'll give me something else to focus on. I had other pressing matters I didn't wish to burn a bridge to. Lost my entire thought. Oh yeah, this is FNGR. Welcome you to another Limbo podcast, joined by the following co-hosts. Quill Stroke.
Meh.
That'll work. Dulcet Tones.
Yeah, hello.
High Energy Podcast, Keychi FIM.
Woo!
Toon Critic. White
Hey, how y'all crazy fuckers doing?
Damn right. And this week's King of Limbo, Deckard Spade.
Hey, I found about this yesterday.
Yeah. No, you found out about it today.
Yeah.
Deckard, you had a channel since 2015. Were you reluctant at all getting into the YouTube brony gig? Was there anything that you went to go, I'm not sure I want to put my voice to this?
It wasn't reluctance. It was more I didn't know how to go about it. I had never really done a channel before, and I just sort of didn't know what was the best starting point and where could I go with it. And for a certain amount of time, I just said, fuck it. And I started with something and then went from there.
Keychi is someone who said fuck it several times. Would you like to add anything to that or open up on that topic?
Half the things I do in this fandom end up in me going, fuck it.
Most of those will turn out to be actually good things.
Indeed.
It's probably because I'm lucky.
Damn right. And we're lucky to have you, Keychi. What's your worst, in your opinion, what's the worst anime you've ever seen, Deckard?
The worst anime I've ever seen?
Yes.
Well, it's both the best and the worst that I've seen.
Oh, you intrigued me.
Space Dandy.
Oh, now I really got to see it.
Space Dandy's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad. It's an awesome visual spectacle, but it's also some of the played stuff. It's basically the quest for booty.
Okay. What's
You're not
the
wrong.
worst cartoon you've ever seen?
Yes,
Worst
think about it.
cartoon I've ever seen. Salad Fingers.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll definitely have to give that a look.
I like rusty spoons.
Ugh.
I don't know where that's from.
That's from Salad
Oh
Fingers.
man, that's some internet garbage like several years back.
Yep, that's some old school internet garbage.
Oh, well, let's... You know what, I'm going to save that one second.
It'll creep you out.
It is disturbing.
Who's your favorite current brony analyst?
Favorite analyst?
Yeah, or reviewer.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say that. I don't want to insult people by leaving people out, but to be honest,
Just say yourself. Come on.
oh yes,
It's okay. I know you want to go for me. I am humble, but you should probably pick someone else.
I'm free for favorite analyst.
You're an
I
analyst?
don't do it.
Okay, this is the part
I
where
don't
the guest
know,
gets
maybe.
to answer and everybody doesn't get to beat up on him. Who's your current favorite, Deckard? Exclude the call if you must. Are you actually thinking about it, or is there actually a name on top? Yeah, go ahead.
To say current, again, I bounce around between a bunch of people, and at this point, I enjoy watching everybody's stuff, but I would have to say Finn's stuff is probably some of the better stuff I've seen so far.
Nice.
That's fair.
We've got a happy glowy fiend here. That's fine.
Oh,
okay.
I have another difficult question. Who's your fandom waifu?
Applejack is best pony.
Oh, okay. Is it the boots?
Nah, dude, it's the hat.
Okay.
It's totally the hat.
What do you think is the most polarizing brony in the fandom?
Polarizing?
Yeah, love or hate the person.
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I admire the fact that you do all the stuff that you do, even though it's controversial. So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I thought there was a chance. All right, here's a goofy one. Do you feel that Keychi's hair gives an unrealistic expectation to your average female brony?
What?
I feel
My
like
hair is not that big.
I mean,
Keychi's hair is like a bag of holding. It's a pocket dimension unto itself, and it's subject to change based on the perception of the person who comes across it.
All right.
So the fact is, if you, the only thing I would say is I would warn people not to put their hand in it, or they're going to end up being lost for days.
Or they'll lose their hand.
Okay.
Well, that too.
God, there is a freaking theory about my hair.
Yep.
it's a very, very serious headcanon, you see.
Headcanon, I see what you did there.
Ah! God, usually it's towards the wrap up that we usually get to the puns. We're jumping it today. All right.
But you called me onto the podcast, so I mean.
Yeah.
Well, you're making some headway.
Ah.
Oh.
You're giving me a
Ow.
headache.
All right.
You have to understand, these puns aren't really a way to get ahead in life, you see.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
What, you
Don't
don't
get
like
me
the
started.
direction
I could
that
be
this
here
is
for a
heading?
good 10 minutes on these puns.
I know.
No,
you
no,
can't.
no. Let's steer away from the puns.
No. Which of the main six is most likely to be a cannibal?
Okay, to be a cannibal, huh?
Yeah. Or extended
Pinkie Pie.
class view. Good.
I would think rarity.
Oh, really? That got really dark.
That's an answer I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with rarity.
Yeah, could you explain, please?
Well, my experience would be it would be the one who pretends to have the most class that would want to try and stay away from the idea of that, and then that they would also consider it a delicacy.
I would go with freaking Pinkie Pie.
Well, no,
the glutton.
that's why I was so fascinated, because of the Pinkie Pie argument already makes sense, but the rarity one, I was like, ooh, that sounds really jaded and twisted. Someone's been reading Little Miss Rarity or something. Been hanging out on Lost Narrators channel, I take it.
Good shit there.
Damn right. Let's see, I'm trying to avoid all the Diablo questions for a moment. If you could have one Disney villain wrap up a season final for MLP, which would you have it be?
It would have to be some kind of Cruella de Vil.
Except with
Skin all the
ponies.
ponies.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that's more fun. That's wow.
Well, it could be like the ultimate fashion off between that and rarity, even though that's kind of dark now.
Yeah. Wow, I thought I had underlying problems with rarity. You've taken the cake, sir. What's your favorite old school episode of Samurai Jack?
The Scotsman. Has
first
to be
one?
the Scotsman.
Yes.
Just for the fact that they came across each other on the bridge, and that's like the majority of the episode. Just like it was trash talk plus good fighting plus just seeing them become like a parallel and something onto themselves. It was a great episode, and I would say that I watch it 1,000 times over.
All right. Who's your favorite British brony?
Okay. Must you?
What?
He must.
Well, I'd
There's
say
several
British Ninja,
choices.
but he hums "I'm a Real American," so
Yeah.
He's not a real British prony.
I wanted to say editor because Warhammer
The
40K.
editor, really?
Yeah. It's taken
and-
off.
Editor and I have actually played Dawn of War a couple of times, and we share an interest in Warhammer 40K stuff.
Daddy does. It is pretty fun on that. What are your thoughts on British Ninja? Since I could have written down.
Oh, great.
We're going to get there anyways.
Can we put in a clip of the video I made of him being a real American?
I will link it in the description in the timestamps.
I think that he's enthusiastic. He's a good person to talk to. I think he sometimes plays the British card a couple of times.
There's a British card I didn't know, but go ahead.
British Ninja plays the British card.
Yes.
You don't like me because I'm British.
That was pretty good, actually.
Thank you. I try.
Say, I'm from Brighton.
I'm from Brighton.
Governor.
I could picture her being a chimney sweep and dancing around on someone's rooftop now.
Chimney, chimney, chim,
Hey, I'm not the one turning him into a Mary Poppins stereotype.
Yeah. All right. I feel bad because I threw a dig here at Toon. If you could have Toon Critic drawn up as like a Diablo 3 character, which one would best fit the red-black palette?
Red and black? I mean, obviously, Diablo himself would probably be one of the things.
Of course.
But at the same time...
He's not cool enough to be Diablo.
After Diablo 3,
Wow.
Diablo gained a set of boobs, so I'm pretty sure that one might be out.
Yeah, that's a piece of fan art that'll never get done, folks. At least not from me. Peter, if you're feeling really adventurous and you want 2 or 3 boobs, you'd be the guy to get it.
Oh, I got a question.
Yeah, no, by all means.
Did you ever get your soda, Deckard?
No, I have not gotten my soda. Riley
Believe it or
will
not, I
eventually
actually have a
cave
question for
and
that.
get me a
But go
soda,
ahead.
but not yet.
How was your BabsCon experience?
I was about to ask that.
I had fun with it. I was off to the side for some things, but I did meet up with Toon and a few of the others to say hello at least, and spent most of the time trying to see what other gaming stuff that they had down there so I could try to do some review stuff on it. So a lot of Fallout Equestria stuff this year.
Oh,
How did
yes.
it differ from any convention that you'd been to before that, assuming you had been to any?
I was at last year's BronyCon, and before that I've gone to Kineticon a couple of times.
Are you going to this year's BronyCon?
Unfortunately, no. I have a family function I have to go to during that time.
You're going to miss all the
miss
fun.
Yep.
We'll be sure to send you a video of us gloating about you not being there.
Yep, we'll all be hugging
Oh, yeah.
Anthony C. and
I look forward to it.
Yes, let's see.
I've got one for him.
Go ahead.
Okay, Deckard, I noticed you've been trying a lot of different styles on your channel lately. Now, what's behind that and what's next for you?
I've been trying to improve my style for a while. I mean, I originally started with something that was off from the show style. It was more of a little chibi anthro version of the horses. And I was working with a couple of friends at the time, but they backed out of the project for the most part. I've got one person who does want to work with me, but they're still working on getting their puppet together. The other thing is, I mean, like, eventually I started working and getting different outfits and different things. I wanted my channel to have a variety. So, I mean, I enjoy MLP. I also enjoy games. I enjoy things that cross over into it. So I figured, why not go into all of them? However, that's also led to a variety of different things that come up, because I've got outfits now for Final Fantasy, Overwatch, PlanetSide 2, and just general outfits just to walk around and talk during the stuff that I do in the videos as well. So I just try to see what I can do that fits the theme of whatever I'm talking about, too.
What
Big
was your
Fallout
first
fan, right?
episode of MLP?
Oh, if we're going to talk about Frigid, sorry.
Good.
I am a Fallout fan. More since Fallout 3 on. I'm not really one to have played the classics from beforehand for the tactics type games that they had. I've been doing that, and I've read some of the Fallout Equestria stuff, the main story and Pink Eyes. I think were the two ones that I like the most.
You were asking, Quill?
Well,
What was your first... Sorry, I was muted. What was your first episode of MLP?
It would be the first episode of MLP.
Oh.
Nice.
I've been watching the show since the beginning, and I just didn't start reviewing anything until later. Like I said, that's partly my fault for not knowing where to start and putting it off for a bit. But it's been fun so far. I've met a lot of interesting people, and I'm hoping to continue to do that, see where things go.
All right. I think I started this question with Keyframe back in the day. What's the most expensive thing you've had lost or stolen?
Oh, I remember that one.
Lost or stolen, huh?
If you're really clumsy, you could just say last year.
I think the other variant of that was broken.
Yeah, lost, stolen, broken. Something along those lines. Something that you have no longer use of, something that you wish you still had that cost you monies.
money.
Well, I have control of it again. The thing I spent a lot of money on that I lost control of was my Guild Wars 2 account a while back.
Oh, how much did you sink into that bad boy?
A couple of $100. I had gotten some skins and some other things in there over the past couple of years built up into it. And I took a break from the game, and I didn't have an authenticator on it. So I tried to get back in, and it took me months to get my account back.
Ouch. What's
That
the
sucks.
most trouble you've ever been in, Deckard?
Relating to what?
In general.
Well, if you've got any fun stories.
I've got plenty of stories. I'm just wondering what's appropriate for here.
Okay, something you did that was illegal.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I don't want to say illegal. I could say there was the one time I worked as an emergency medical technician before what I'm working as a current job.
Oh.
And my uniform was pretty similar to the city's police department, minus a couple of changes. So there was one time where I got into a car accident while I was driving home from an overnight shift. I was tired, so I started pulling to the side, but I stopped. The other person ran a red light and clipped my bumper.
Oh.
So at that point, I wasn't sure if I was in trouble, if they were in trouble, or anything else. I was just kind of shocked and still half asleep, not sure what was going on. The other person got out of the car, was ready to yell at me, and said, "What's going on?" Oh, looked at my uniform and then thinks I'm a police officer. They started apologizing like profusely during that period of time. I didn't say anything. The real police showed up about a minute later because somebody called, and I just sort of let it go from there. But that was an interesting situation because the police showed up and they said, "Why is this guy wearing a..." Oh, so almost 2 cases of mistaken identity, and I'd almost gotten told that I was impersonating a police officer that day. So, yeah.
Wonder if that's a federal crime.
Wasn't
I
intended.
think it is.
Yeah, probably. Well, we
I
know it
think
wasn't
so.
intentional, so it is why we're laughing it off right now. Let's see here.
I got one. So I understand that you have another character on your channel.
Frigid we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, Frigid's an interesting case.
He's better than cartoons.
Would you... Hey.
Frigid's also difficult.
Bitch, please.
to
I'll
explain.
fucking melt his ass to the ground.
Oh, lordy.
Frigid started in a Fallout Equestria game that was on Second Life. And I played that character for a while, but he was also the town's punching bag. So he was prone to getting his butt kicked constantly. One thing led to another eventually in the game, and he ended up in a fight where he lost and was decapitated on the side of an ice cream truck.
What
Nice.
the fuck?
Yeah, that's how his career ended in the game. The story for this is Frigid is technically a descendant from Deckard. So he pulled a chrono trigger.
Ah.
So it was replace some poor raider or someone else in that position and then yank. So he's been there since. He represents the scornful, snarky, annoyed side of me that will speak up about certain things that I wouldn't normally speak up about.
That's cool.
Which...
That pun was inadvertent. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No,
sorry.
we're not going to go down this another half hour.
Damn it all.
Oh, let's see. Bunch of cringe.
Don't ask that.
What's the most progress you've lost on a video?
The Ponies in a Casino video. It's been sort of a nightmare trying to get that together since then. Because I put stuff together for the intro, I started building stuff, and then my computer crashed.
How much did you
So
lose?
I want to say about 10 minutes worth of stuff to start.
Well, like, how
Because
much
then
actual time did you put into it, though?
by the end of it, I lost about like 20 hours worth of work from 3 crashes from my computer.
Oh.
Oh.
How many days did you sink into that, though? Probably like 4 or 5, 3, 4?
Yeah, and I've sort of taken a break from working on that one for other projects at the moment.
Ouch.
It's the cursed project.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I want to do that one, but I also want to make sure my computer's not going to shit the bed while I'm trying it.
What do you think of the latest episodes of MLP?
Surprised that they didn't do a 2-part intro for this season. I honestly, I'm not saying I dislike it. The 3rd episode so far involves babies again, so that's not my favorite episode, but it's there.
Would you rather it be clowns?
Oh God, no clowns.
I mean, you're saying that you're surprised about it being a 2-part, not being a 2-parter. What would you have done?
Well, I mean, it acknowledges the last episode chronologically and says that it happens pretty much right after. But it doesn't have a villain. It doesn't have any of the other stuff that they've been doing at this point. So to me, that just sort of signals that they ran out of ideas or they're saving the villain for the movie. Also, we probably are going to end up seeing Chrysalis again at some point.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd say it's a given.
definitely.
Bree!
Oh, did DWK enter the call?
Nice. How long, obviously you might actually beat me on this one, Deckard, how long have you been involved in Diablo?
Oh, boy. I've played since Diablo 1.
Yep, he kicked my ass.
I have a copy of it. At this point, it's no longer in transition for sale, so if people feel like playing it, they have a shareware version I can probably lend out.
Yeah, you tried to get me to get that to run, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's the other problem. It's really old. It's like Windows 95, so trying to get that work is kind of fun.
Yeah,
getting it in compatibility is so hard.
There's a port of it, I think, for the PlayStation 1, just to give you a reference or how backwards that bad boy is.
So I've played since that one. I played on and off, though, so I haven't played as frequently as you have when it comes to 2 and 3, but I have played through the entire series from the start.
Nice. Since joining Limbo, who's been the most fun to watch to be trolled?
Keychi.
Yeah?
Fuck you too, Deckard.
Hey. At least I can try to do a backflip.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I want you to do a backflip. Go do it.
Did you
right
say
now.
a black flip?
You
No.
say a black flip.
I want to see a black flip now.
Deckard, I want you to go do a backflip.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
What's that? Pussy say what?
Yeah.
Maybe at one of the next conventions I will try.
Uh-huh.
But for now, I don't feel like injuring myself before I have to go to work.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Goofy, cringy MLP question. Which of the main 6 is most likely to command an army of the undead?
Army of the Undead. Okay.
Twilight.
Well,
Yeah.
the obvious answer would be Twilight being a necromancer.
Yeah. If you count Mob as canon, it's canon. Which of your videos are you most proud of?
You say backflip, I will kick you in the balls.
Well, hashtag Backflip was a collaborative event, and I'm pretty sure that we need to do a hashtag Backflip 2 to try and represent the fact that it hasn't happened yet, and that
It's not funny. It's never gonna be funny.
But out of the ones that I have on my channel, I would have to say the Planet Side 2 one I did. Mostly because I played a little more with the idea of animation, and I got to headshot myself and respawn. So it was kind of fun trying to pull off that and a couple of the jokes I was doing.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite would probably be some of the older ones that I did. I guess I would probably go with the Final Fantasy 14 one that I did, because that was with the oldest set of models that I was using for my representation, and it went on forever, and I thought it was a good idea to try and show an entire portion of video from the game. I did it correctly, and I referenced everything, so I wasn't in trouble for anything, strike-wise, or any problems, but Square Enix picked up on that like that. So that was one of the first things where I learned, I gotta figure out how long I can show stuff and what I should do when I'm reviewing.
Oh, they third-party it, or was that it, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. They said, oh, well, you can't monetize, but you have permission. Because I basically referenced them and made sure I put them in credit the entire thing as they asked on the site.
I've often wondered, because I know Square Enix is actually a surprisingly good sport about you boosting their music for monetization. I was wondering, I wonder how recent you can go with that.
You got to be careful with some of that. A lot of the older ones, like chiptunes and such, they're probably not going to care quite as much because they don't use as many of the variances. But they also, ironically, will still sell soundtracks. So some of the sounds from like Final Fantasy 5 and the remake from 3 and some of the other things are probably off limits for at least a little while.
Because I tried out can't remember the name of the song, but it's the one Jim Sterling uses for his background music, and I was like, I wonder if I can get away with this. Oh, I can. And that was like around 10 or so.
Shh, don't say that. They'll hear you.
Yeah, no.
Hold on, it sounds like someone has another question.
Go ahead.
Deckard, your most popular video on your channel is a drama video. Let's put it mildly. What is what's your opinion on your audience's reaction to that?
I'm surprised that so many people just jumped on the fact that I wanted to comment on it. I think part of the credit goes to FNGR for like helping me figure out how to flag it and set it up for people to see it.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, I've had so much response, and I've actually talked to people in the comments over some of the things that are there, and it surprises me, like, how many people don't know how fair use and copyright work. And I'm not a lawyer. I can't give advice when it comes to dealing with that, but I try to reference the sources of people who have experience with this, or at least YouTube's own guidelines for how things are supposed to work, and people just ignore it. I mean, one of the problems that a lot of people think is not a problem, that they can just take something off of like DeviantArt or something else without crediting somebody and then just say, oh, it's okay, everybody does it. The everybody does it argument is not an argument. That's just groupthink or stereotyping the idea of saying, hey, look, if this person did it, is that really okay? I guess it is.
Try that excuse when you get busted for turning music and movies and shit.
Yeah.
Because everybody does that one. It's a bad day till it finally goes wrong.
Got one more, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Quill.
What video editing program do you like to use the most, I mean?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
Skype decided to just corrupt itself when I was trying to push buttons. I want to make sure I'm not muted at least.
Oh, we got you.
Wait, it recovered. The programs that I use to do things are Audacity for when I'm giving voice work to somebody else. I actually have a version of Sony Vegas. They don't like to call it that, but it's a cheaper version you can find on Steam. That's originally was called Movie Studio Platinum.
How much did that cost you?
When I got it was about $70.
Oh,
But
so it
I've-
crashes listens is legit.
No, it still crashes from time to time, but it's the way that it was made. It looks like it was made for Windows 8 tablet PCs because some of the buttons are a lot larger. But it still uses the same source code and plugins as Vegas, so getting it to work is pretty similar. I mean, I think I recall at one point I was helping you figure out how to move stuff around in your program before when editing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the functionality is pretty similar to Vegas. It may be a little more simplified, but it's all there.
It's interesting.
I have nothing.
All right, I guess the last thing I have is, what is it you feel at the end of the day you can bring to the table that other reviewers you feel can't?
On the spot, Toon.
What makes you special?
I guess one of the things I try to do is just be straightforward when I talk about things. Because if I dance around the topic, yeah, I'm going to get more time in some of the videos that I have. But I hate beating around the bush sometimes when it comes to trying to give an opinion. I guess you can say I try to be straight arrow, but at the same time, might be poor at it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm so boring.
You're
You're
fine.
not boring, you're fine.
I was just trying to snag a screenshot from the call so I have something to put on the damn friggin' podcast. And Gyaza was fighting me, and we got it.
Okay.
All
Yay.
right. I had a wonderful time. I'm going to stop the recording and check it.